Mary, tell us what's going on with Bradley Cooper.
Well, he is playing Leonard Bernstein in a new biopic for Netflix, and he wore a prosthetic nose for the role, and everyone is really triggered by it. People are saying that he shouldn't have been cast for this role in the first place because he himself is not Jewish, and he's playing a Jewish man. And secondly, that the prosthetic nose is a cartoonish caricature of Jews that is actually denigrating. So let's look at some before and afters, shall we?
The TMZ article?
I think that, honestly, the nose is too big. The prosthetic does kind of...
Yeah.
They overdid it.
A little bit. It might be hard to get, though.
But he does, like otherwise, he does resemble the guy.
I think he looks kind of David Tennant-ish. This picture here with him with the cigarette looks like a weird mix of David Tennant and Michael Imperioli. It's weird. But yeah, like there's his prosthetic on there, but people are upset.
Honestly, the real guy's nose was not as big as that. Like I'm
Bradley
not seeing
Cooper has
it.
a big nose already.
Yeah.
He just rocked his natural look.
Yeah.
He probably shouldn't have done that. But he was getting hate for this when the first set photos came out months and months ago.
I don't think there's a problem with him playing the role. I think I think the prosthetic just looks bad.
The prosthetic looks bad, but is it? We have a resident Jew here. Bertman, that's you.
Speaking of,
Vouch for us here. What do you think of the prosthetic?
Okay, so when you guys mentioned this, like you sent the story over, I didn't understand that, they put a prosthetic on. I thought they were just choosing him because he had a big nose. And I was like, whatever, I don't care. The fact that they put the prosthetic, all right, I understand it.
So you do think that this is the so-called Jewface?
I'm not going to go as far as to say it's Jewface or that like.
What's the point of having the prosthetics if you're not going to use them, right? Like that's the whole point, is to make you look more like the character. Would this matter less if he was himself Jewish with a smaller nose and they did it to make it bigger?
Like were they supposed to cast a Jewish actor who doesn't have a big nose?
they could have casted Chris Bertman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do I have a target on my back or something?
Well, we're saying, your nose is not stereotypical looking.
So that would be like, okay. I hope we don't get in trouble from YouTube. Let me just put it this way. Tim's half Korean, right?
Yeah.
That would be like casting Tim in a role, but saying like your eyes aren't almond enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I get what you're saying, but I could see why people are upset.
Actors have played characters that they don't actually look like, and it's been fine.
Yeah.
I feel like it was trying a little bit too hard and was unnecessary.
Yeah. I lean towards unnecessary. I'm not going to boycott
The problem
anything.
is like in
I don't
Hollywood,
think
those
it's
aren't your only
problematic.
options.
I guess it was unnecessary.
They say, look, there's a bunch of great Jewish actors that could have played him. How many of them have Bradley Cooper's stature, have his track record at the box office, and his actual power to get people
another
into
thing
seats?
people are mad about is that he actually got into a licensing rights battle with Jake Gyllenhaal, who wanted to make this biopic. Like, it was really special to Jake Gyllenhaal to make this. And Jake Gyllenhaal is Jewish. Bradley Cooper obviously is not. So they're saying that's another strike two, anti-Semite. You stole the movie from a Jewish man who wanted to make a movie about a man who happened to be Jewish. But like, Sarah Silverman weighed in on this because she can't possibly not give her opinion about anything. She said, there's a long tradition of non-Jews playing Jews, and not just playing people who happen to be Jewish, but people whose Jewishness is their whole thing. Leonard Bernstein's Jewishness was not his whole thing.
Yeah.
He was a composer.
Do Jewish actors only play Jewish characters?
Yeah, right? No, but
No, so,
it's different, right? It's a double standard.
So when they make the straight to DVD biopic about me, do they have to be Polish and Slavic?
You have to actually have a
Dichromatic?
matching 23andMe with whoever you're playing.
And
in
if
a
they have,
biopic.
and they have to have two different color eyes like me.
Yeah.
Like they have to.
Yeah.
No contacts. No. That's an eye prosthetic. You can't do that.
Because there are plenty of actors with heterochromia
Yeah.
who deserve representation.
Exactly. The heterochromic actors deserve to be seen in Hollywood, seen and validated.
Another thing that people are mad about is Carey Mulligan, who plays his wife in the biopic, is playing a Costa Rican woman, and she herself is quite obviously not Costa Rican.
They're just going all out on the.
They just cannot stop.
Yeah. Like,
that one doesn't bother me, like, because with the Bradley Cooper thing, it sounds like they want Bradley Cooper more than they want somebody that just has like a Jewish looking nose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why they have to make Bradley Cooper.
Because it's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where it's like, all right, that's a little.
Yeah.
I would have just got a guy that had a big schnoz.
Kind of random.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Do you guys want to watch this? This is a Netflix movie. So this isn't even going to be.
They're calling it Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Has a Netflix movie, to your guys' knowledge, gotten an Oscar at all?
I believe there have been nominations. I don't know if they've won anything yet, but I know that's why they do limited releases for Netflix movies at theaters so that they can be eligible for Oscars.
It doesn't seem like anything I'd be interested in watching.
Caring about the Oscars though. In 2023,
no.
like the greatest thing to ever happen.
Who's Oscar?
Yeah,
that guy from The Office.
The best thing about the writer's strike is no late night television, no award shows. Let's frickin' go.
Yeah.
No Jimmy Fallon, no Jimmy Kimmel, no Oscars.
Bring back Billy Crystal as the host.
There you go.
Then I would watch it.
One tweet said, "This feels especially sinister because Bradley Cooper's nose is already the same shape and size, if not slightly larger than Leonard Bernstein's was. And I'm looking at the side by side, and they're right. They're kind of right. But I was doing research, extensive research before the show on this, looking up different types of triangles and trying to figure out, is it isosceles? Is it...
Yeah,
like
the general nose shape.
Looking at the angles, is it
Equilateral.
obtuse?
Yeah.
You know the movie Peter Dinklage was in, Cyrano Bergerac, however the heck you say it, right?
Oh, yeah. The nose movie.
So, yeah, the original, the guy had a huge nose.
Yeah.
So if they did that to him because he's supposed to have a huge nose, that's just the character, that makes sense. But if it's like, oh, he's playing a Jewish guy and, oh, his nose just isn't big enough, let's make it a little bit bigger. It's like, all right, come on, guys.
Kind of an L.
It's somebody says Netflix has 22 Oscar wins.
Wow.
Okay, this says, this isn't about making a non-Jewish actor look more like Leonard Bernstein. It's about making a non-Jewish actor look more like a Jewish stereotype.
But does this also, does this work? Because we were talking earlier, this was passed by Scorsese. He was originally going to do it, and he passed on it. And
now Spielberg is the producer, and he's Jewish. He puts his stamp of approval on this.
Yeah,
is that worth something?
There you
TMZ thinks so.
But somebody says, this Mark Fleischman says, ouch, that's really harsh. So many great Jewish actors out there like Helen Mirren in this soon-to-be-released Golda.
Bert
and
over
Bert.
here.
But, did you make A Star is Born?
Yeah, I don't think that there was a shortage of Jewish actors. I think they just thought he was the best for the role, and they wanted to make him look like his character. And if you're honing in on it and saying he has a big nose, well, maybe you're discriminating against the original person and saying that his nose was too big.
Or think about,
maybe?
What was his name in Ben Affleck's character in Argo? I don't remember the character's first name, but his last name is Mendez. Ben Affleck is not... He's not, but he got the stamp of approval from the actual man who the movie Argo was based on.
There are plenty of examples just like that. I mean, Ezra Miller just played a Hispanic character, and he's not Hispanic.
Well,
he's
that's
Jewish.
the whole point. It's acting.
Yeah.
Are you exactly like the people that you're acting like? No. Why is it just coming down to race?
Because that's the hot button issue.
Yeah, that's the hot button issue.
Well, it's only
right
a problem when a white actor.
But this is also this. Yeah, it's like nobody was like you weren't allowed to criticize that when you say, "Hey, Anne Boleyn is not black, but we've made Anne Boleyn black in this series on television because F it." Here is what's her name, the Jada Pinkett Smith. Cleopatra. Here's Cleopatra. She is now a different race. Nobody cares. Nobody's allowed to care because you can't criticize it.
Okay, do you guys remember when Macklemore did Jewface? Or is that just me? Because I have the evidence here. Brett, I just sent it to you. And people brought this up because, talk about an exaggerated prosthetic nose.
Oh, you have Slack open.
It was kind of crazy.
Oh, okay. No, it's
I didn't know if it was
it's
on
not
purpose.
on that screen. Hold on.
Macklemore did this on stage, and everybody just forgot.
Holy crap!
Have you opened it?
Wow, buddy.
Dude.
My ethnicity is not a costume,
Chris,
sir.
are you all right?
It's kind of funny.
Hold on, they can't see
very
it yet.
funny.
Hold on, guys.
Wow.
Here we go. Wow.
Dude.
Okay.
Actual picture of Bradley Cooper as Leonard Bernstein.
Oh my gosh.
Bradley Cooper's Macklemore?
Yes, same person. Same person.
Jeez.
Posted by Serge Gainsbourg, of all people.
Is that Mattis Yahoo?
Oh my goodness.
That does look like Maddie Seymour.
Okay.
But I don't see anyone getting mad at Macklemore right now.
Apparently not.
Selective enforcement much?
That's what it is.
Well, I don't know the context around this. Was he like supposed to be putting on a character and that was the point of it? Or was he just doing it?
Can somebody tell me in the context of a concert when this is ever okay?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know the context.
Like that is crazy.
What sucks is if it's funny, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
But if the material wasn't funny enough, then you just look like a jerk.
Yeah.
That is that makes me laugh. I'm sorry.
It's pretty funny, dude. It's pretty funny.
All right.
See, we're allowed to laugh because Bert is laughing.
Yeah,
Thank
we've gotten permission from Bert, so it's fine. But this kind of stuff comes up all the time when it comes to movies because normally we're talking about it in the context of getting rid of white characters most of the time, and they cast somebody who doesn't fit those specific criteria, and everyone says maybe they were just the best character for the role. What I want is Bradley Cooper to go up to Jake Gyllenhaal and be like, "Hey, maybe I was just the best person for the role." Did you ever think about that, Jake?
Burn.
Sorry,
Jake.
Jakey.
I'm not gonna say it.
Jakey, and then he can go and take Maggie Gyllenhaal on a date just to rub salt in the wounds.
Another person on Twitter said Bradley Cooper is dumb for using a prosthetic nose. If he was actually committed to the role, he would have gotten plastic surgery. Can you get plastic surgery that makes your nose larger?
Yeah, go to Temple Synagogue.
Oh, they do that for you?
Yeah,
That's the
nose
free?
elongation surgery.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
There is actually, it's funny because
You haven't gone yours yet.
I just sent somebody a
Still
video.
waiting.
Like I was watching this video last night. It was like a Russian woman who goes. She's very pretty, and she goes in and she like points at her nose, and she gets like a nose job or something, and shows like slides of the whole healing process, and then she's done, and she looks just as pretty when she was done. I didn't even notice any type of difference. And then it says like she had a deviated septum, and then somebody was saying basically like, look, they just used deviated septum as an excuse to be able to get a nose job.
Well, it's the excuse to get your health insurance to
cover
cover your cosmetic nose job.
All
Writing that one down.
All right. So, it's Bradley Cooper. I have a feeling that Hollywood will end up just letting this one slide. But like when Hollywood, like you
It's
said,
an
selective
overreaction.
enforcement, they're not going to be outraged in a couple of days. And it's not a movie with significant cultural impact. Like it matters
going
when
to
it's
Netflix.
Get mad at actual reasons.
but not even
Like,
Netflix.
not
I'm
this.
saying it's not a comic book movie. It's not science fiction. It's not something that they can use to implement cultural change because people don't really care about these type of documentaries.
I am once again wondering, how do Netflix movies make their money back? How does that work?
If I had to guess, there must be some kind of contract
don't
where
drive
they take a
subscriptions.
percentage
They
of
don't.
the prescription.
They just do it to fill the library of content.
Yeah, I mean, your value is based on how much content you offer, right? So in the idea is to move away from stuff that you buy from other companies and get your own catalog of stuff, because all of those companies that you're licensing from will eventually start their own streaming services and thus take it back and use it for themselves. But it's the same question why people wonder, like, we want more in residuals. Residuals of what? There's no ads running on any of this shit. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, of each play? How then you're going to have to come up with an entirely
Rachel Zegler's
new...
like, every minute that Snow White is streamed on Disney Plus, I should get a residual check.
Mike Tarrant is saying advertising, but how do they advertise? Like, there's only one advertising tier on Netflix, and the rest of it is all paid subscriptions. Is the idea, like, you should be able to, you know what they should do? They should have the thing where when you sign up, like, it's like, oh, I represent Patriot Dirt. Put Brett20 at patriotdirt.com to get 20% off your first order, so that they know that you came there because of their recommendation. Like, maybe they should have a thing where, like, when you go watch something, you're like, I'm buying Netflix for this show, and then you have to, like, input it there. That way they know.
No one would go to that much trouble.
No, I know.
Though.
I know. It's funny. But you just remember, when my Patriot Dirt sponsorship comes through.
Netflix, they don't even, like, share their statistics, do they? So
Nope.
you can't even tell if somebody's signing up specifically for that movie.
Mike Tarrant says Netflix sells ads outside of the platform. Ads for... I don't get it. Like...
how do
Like-
you sell
sell
them
ads,
outside of the platform?
I'm not saying it's happened, but probably, like, when you see the UFC Octagon and they got advertisements, probably something like that.
Okay.
I don't think they've advertised with UFC, but I mean...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is what it is, but I don't think that this is the type of thing that's going to get a whole bunch of extra pushback. I think eventually this one goes more obscure because it doesn't have the cultural relevance of sci-fi or any of the superhero stuff, where it seems like these arguments continuously happen.
It's like the movie Tar.
Exactly. It's like we talked about that for like 2 days and then it disappeared.
Yeah.
Like people are like, it's anti-woke. No, it's woke. And everyone's like, and everyone's like, dude, it's a movie about a lady who does like who runs an orchestra. I don't care. Like seriously, I'm falling asleep. This is boring. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.